So, the majority of people here are very familiar with Schooloop, but for those who aren't, Schooloop is a website where teachers post homework assignments and grades in order to keep students up to date. And students are constantly checking it to see this information. So with that in mind, imagine an app that would integrate with Schooloop on all platforms, use content present in assignments, class lockers, and other places to identify relevant online resources for reviewing topics you are learning in class, provide quick access to textbook chapter reviews, encourage students to learn and review by providing direct links to these resources, and overall, significantly reduce the amount of confusion that students have when doing homework. Well, keep imagining, because that is an inaccurate and glorified description of my project. Although it perfectly represents what my vision was. The potential for my project is far greater than where I've taken it, and that is partly due to time constraints and partly because the potential is so great. So what I took away from working on this piece of software is that envisioning the potential for an idea can make it so much more fulfilling to execute, even if that potential cannot be reached given limited time and resources. You can still get something done, and it can still be kind of cool. So I'm here today with something that I think is kind of cool. When we were introduced to the Genius Project back in winter 2015, I knew I wanted to create an application. I've had roughly 7 years of computer programming experience, and along the way, I have enjoyed working on various coding projects, including 2 Android apps that are published to the Google Play Store. I also wanted the impact of my project to include students at Sage Creek, or students at any school for that matter. Therefore, I settled on creating an app for Schooloop, something that would be relevant and could be used effortlessly by every student here. Beyond that, I still had some decisions to make, like would the software be a phone app, and what would it actually do? A huge development in the decision-making process came with a suggestion by my friend Ethan Nicholson while brainstorming project ideas in Mrs. Albert's English class. His idea was to provide online resources in the app to help students study, and I have to give him credit for giving me motivation for my project. I saw the benefit of providing quick access to online learning resources because it could potentially encourage students to review more than they would have without links displayed right in front of them. This overall idea had a lot of potential, but I knew I had to narrow it down to something doable. Although at this point, I still didn't know what was doable. So after prototyping this Schooloop interface for Android, I decided against making a phone app, not wanting to make an Android app, only to be left with the task of learning how to develop for iPhone. Instead, I began developing a Chrome extension. A Chrome extension simply adds to the functionality of websites you visit, so I was able to focus on the nuts and bolts of the application, with students being able to access Schooloop the way they are used to. However, this also creates new limitations. A Chrome extension only works with Chrome on desktop computers and not on your smartphone. I also decided to limit the online resources supported to just Khan Academy. I would save time by implementing support for only one website while still making available the huge library of resources covering a variety of topics which Khan Academy provides. Along with these decisions, I settled on a fitting name for my Chrome extension, Academist. I also created this logo, although it is merely a combination of 2 public domain images. So, by the end of last school year, I had learned the basics of building a Chrome extension and experimented with manipulating data on the Schooloop website. And over the summer, I did virtually nothing. So by the time this school year started, I hadn't completed as much as I originally planned due to several obligations that I won't bore you with, but I quickly got to work, and I stand here today with something worthy of showcasing. So without any more delay, here is what Academist is capable of right now. Suppose in Schooloop you have a physics assignment to do textbook page 613, numbers 1 through 5. The Academist logo indicates that it found Khan Academy resources, which are linked below. If you are confused on how to do this assignment, you can simply click on the link and watch a Khan Academy video about DC circuits. Academist automatically knows that page 613 in the AP Physics textbook is in the chapter about DC circuits. And in addition to page numbers, Academist uses chapter numbers, as in this example, with section 12.3 in the chemistry textbook, as well as keywords, as in this example, with the physics topic electrostatics. And to figure all this out, Academics tries to guess which textbooks you use based on your classes, which you verify on this settings page. So over the course of this school year, I have put a lot of work into making this all come together. And while I haven't encountered any major obstacles, I have had to push through countless technical issues, as any computer programmer would, all the while challenging myself to advance my knowledge in JavaScript, the language of Chrome extensions. I've written close to 1,000 lines of code to program the logic of Academist. I also wrote a program that would automatically extract information about every topic and video in the Khan Academy library, resulting in a database of thousands of topics that academics can search through. On top of that, I did the tedious work of turning the table of contents of each math and science textbook here at Sage into a spreadsheet, so that academics could use the data to determine the corresponding topic for any page number that appears in your assignments. You may be wondering why I bothered with something so tedious, and sometimes I wonder myself. But support for textbooks was an important feature that I thought needed to be in the final product. I had to prioritize certain features over others so that I could invest enough time in the few features that were on the top of the priority list, and textbook support was one of them. I also understood that there were some features I would not be able to make, such as expanding beyond just the assignments list or encompassing more resources besides Khan Academy. Other things that I wanted to do, such as making Academist work with Firefox and Safari, got left behind simply because I spent my time on what I thought were more important features. And I was content with this. The final product didn't need to have everything. And actually, there is no final product. My project is a series of continuous improvements, but rather than set an ambitious, possibly unrealistic goal, I have enjoyed making whatever progress I can without much regard to where I will end. So today I have not my final, but my current and ever-improving product, and it's time I assess its worth. Of course, it is functional, but is it really useful? Well, perhaps not. People may feel that watching a 5 to 10 minute video to review one concept is not super productive. Furthermore, academics will not always find something perfectly relevant to what you are learning in class. Also, Google exists. It's incredibly easy to Google whatever you are learning in class in order to find study resources without the help of a fancy browser extension. Lastly, academics will not work as well for students at other schools who are using different textbooks. Nevertheless, Academist does work, and it is a convenient way to access Khan Academy videos. I said I wanted my project to impact my fellow students, but my current user base is just short of 40. So here's where you come in. I want you to download Academist. All it takes is one click to get it from the Chrome Web Store, and for students here, you can check it out on the computers in the library. I also want your feedback, so there is a link to a feedback form on your Schooloop page once you download the Chrome extension. I would love to know if the links are accurate to what you are learning in class, or if you actually got value out of a suggested video. Feedback will help as I continue to improve Academist and work towards its potential. Thank you.